Well, they are part of our daily commutes along Interstate 40, and most of the time we don't pay them any attention. Guardrails and medians are designed to keep vehicles on the road and keep drivers safe. Good evening, everyone. I'm Robin Wilhoit. Just this week, 3 people were killed when a car crossed a grass median on I-640. Tonight, in a 10 News investigation, Brittany Bade looks at crossover crashes on I-40. And Brittany, this accident is certainly not the first of its kind.
Robin, it definitely is not. Friends, family, and the only surviving victim of this November crash in Cumberland County are still mourning the 3 people who died in it. This, too, was a crossover crash where no guardrail separated the east and westbound lanes of traffic. Tonight, we find out why there wasn't a guardrail, which areas require them, and what's being done to prevent crossover crashes from forever changing lives.
They're supposed to stop crashes. But at exit 320 in Cumberland County, there was nothing there to stop a tractor truck on November 11th. Flames and smoke poured out of this crash scene.
Everybody watching this, say a prayer.
The result of a tractor truck crossing over a grass median and plowing into a car hauler and a sedan.
Oh my God.
An explosion that could be seen for miles.
I almost didn't answer it.
The impact killed 3 people, triggering a phone call that Joyce and Johnny Ford never wanted to get.
I mean, I just kept saying, what about Nancy? What about Nancy? And finally it sunk in.
The Fords left their Tompkinsville, Kentucky home in a hurry.
It was awfully rough on both of us.
Their dear friends, Jack and Nancy Tooley, brother and sister, were in this blue Nissan Sentra. Jack, in the passenger seat, survived with debilitating injuries. Nancy died on impact.
We had to stop by the hospital and go in and identify her. The hardest thing I ever did in my life.
Run off the road type accidents are one of our worst problems.
Stephen Richards, a UT professor and highway design and safety engineer, explains why a guardrail along this section of I-40 is not required.
So it's a rural area of interstate. You can see it's relatively flat or rolling. There's no curvature in the roadway. There's substantially wide median.
Under current state standards, a cable rail should be installed for 3 reasons. The median has a width greater than 32 feet, but less than 50. 20,000 vehicles pass the location per day, and the location has a history of crossover crashes. This area of I-40 only meets one of those standards, the traffic, meaning it is not required to have a guardrail.
And that's the case for 15% of I-40. From Crossville to the North Carolina border, a total stretch that includes 131 miles. And of that, 113 miles are separated by some type of median barrier. Everything from guardrails to cable barriers to trees.
We'll put guardrails in an area where we think that there is a severe slope or if there is a fixed object that is immovable in relative proximity to the roadway.
Mark Nagy with TDOT explains guardrails are only where they have to be.
Well, we're also trying to keep the roadway as clear as possible.
Richards agrees.
We simply cannot design and construct a guardrail that is completely safe in every situation. There is always a hazard associated with a vehicle hitting a guardrail.
In 2016, 2 people died and 9 people were injured in crossover crashes, while 3 people died and 284 people were injured when they hit a guardrail or barrier. The miles of barriers along I-40 have taken hits. We found W-beam rails in Roane County bent and slanted. Nearby, these cable barriers, also in Roane County, should be pulled tight. Instead, they lay flat on the ground, leaving them ineffective. TDOT tells us they are continually working to correct them all.
If it's a severe damage to one of those barriers, we try to get it fixed as quickly as possible.
It's exploded like 4 times.
In the case of November's fiery crash and explosion, experts say only the 2 strongest types of barriers could have possibly stopped the truck. We're talking about barriers made of concrete that you would only see in densely populated metro areas.
So, unfortunately, there's no perfect solution.
An imperfect system that Joyce believes needs improvement.
I think it was very negligence, but On exactly whose part, I'm not sure.
So the life of what many called a near-perfect person is not stopped short again.
It's an emptiness there for me of a friendship. It's gone for now, but we'll be reacquainted later.
TDOT says whenever there is an accident with a fatality or severe injuries, its traffic office will go back and reevaluate that area and see if anything can be done in terms of safety. Its investigation has determined no changes will be made at exit 320. Now, Robin, there is a whole other issue surrounding this crash, and we have more of that and the ongoing lawsuit on our website, WBIR.com.
Very interesting information. Thank you for sharing it with us. We appreciate it, Brittany.